Hey, this is Irvin Griffin, and this is the Nature Girl 30. Now, you might have noticed a bit of an edit that I made because right in the middle of the Will and Jada's stuff, we started discussing Spider Man stuff briefly, particularly Spider Man No Way Home and the old '70s show with Nicholas Hammond, and basically what we would have liked to have seen and what we could possibly see future wise, just basically just being fans of the character. I figured, let's not leave it in the Will Smith one. Let's give it its own video. So enjoy being so bad. Although the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse cartoon movies have been good.
Yeah.
For the most part. They've been good.
I'm not gonna lie, it actually got me liking Spider-Man again because I got tired of Spider-Man after the reboot of Andrew Garfield's version.
Yeah, and on a side note, she was mainly a fan of the Tobey Maguire films.
Yeah.
She only watched the Andrew Garfield ones when we started dating.
Yeah.
Because I talked her into doing it. I said, I'm gonna tell you right now, the first one's pretty good. The second one, the action scenes are great. The story is, oh god.
And I still have not seen the Tom Holland versions, nor do I want to. I have seen Far From Home. I haven't seen Homecoming, and I haven't seen...
You mean No Way Home?
No Way Home. I see No Way Home. I haven't seen Far From Home or Homecoming. I don't want to see Far From Home or Homecoming. I'm fine with seeing
I may have to work on her about that.
No.
I may have to work on her. Homecoming we could kind of skip. But I would want you to see Far From Home. Because Far From Home leads into No Way Home.
Yeah.
So I would want you to see Far From Home. Homecoming, we can kind of, we may watch it on a boring day or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, and plus I'm the guy that has pretty much seen all the major live action Spider-Man cats, from the old Electric Company to Nicholas Hammond to Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and of course Tom Holland. I'm always going to be a little biased to Nicholas, even though his show wasn't that great. I'm going to be a little bit biased because he was my first live action Spider-Man. And yes, I'm going to get back on this topic. But I'm going to be biased towards him. And I must admit, of the three modern ones, I still have a soft spot for Tobey.
Yeah.
More so than... Nothing against the other two, but I'm going to have a soft spot for Tobey.
Yeah.
And mostly because of what Nicholas said. When they asked him, do you feel like yelling to the screen saying, I was Spider-Man? And he just simply smiled and said, nah. I would probably yell, I'm Spider-Man's dad. And that was all the endorsement I needed for Tobey. That's all. I was like, oh, so he's pretty much embracing this one. I'm going to check him out. And he was right, because that's him and Tobey are the ones I tend to embrace the most.
Honestly.
Mostly because Nicholas was my childhood Spider-Man.
Right.
Tobey was the guy that Nicholas endorses, so...
Yeah, even though I think that Nicholas Hammond should have been in No Way Home, but
well, let's not get started on that one.
No, but we understand that was during COVID. We get it. It was during COVID, but in my opinion, if you're in Australia, you could have done something to make it seem like you were in the film. Just me. It's just me. Somehow get Chip Fields in there to make that ship happen to where Chip Fields is actually with Nicholas Hammond.
Yeah, and because we even said, because I showed her a few episodes from that old show, and yeah, we're going to get back to the subject, but I even showed her a few episodes of that old show, and there was a lot of, Peter Parker from that show was a low-key player. He was more of a gentleman than a player, but he attracted women like nothing. Like nothing, but Chip Field seems to be the one he had the most chemistry with, even more so than the one they really tried to put him with.
But she played Rita, right?
Yeah, Chip Fields played Rita.
Rita and Peter and even Irvin Zeus, shout out to him. He's with me and he's shipping both Rita and Peter. I'm shipping them hard. It will never happen because it was in the 70s. They had to find somebody white. We know this. But come on. I wanted to see that happen so bad in No Way Home. To see him like maybe look at the portal and have Rita behind him with her hand on his shoulder and possibly have a daughter that went through there or even a son. That would have been just flat out awesome to know that we got canon, man. We got canonicity with that show. That's just me. I ship hard for those two. But we're never going to get that because the show's been off the air for decades. So we'll never.
Yeah, only fans who were children at that time or teens at that time will probably even remember them.
Shoot, I wasn't even thought of at that time. I was born in the 80s. This was like in the 70s. This went off the air after when years after I was born. But I ended up seeing Wonder Woman, The Incredible Hulk. I think I saw a few episodes of Spider-Man because they had reruns. But I was like 5 or 6 at the time when I actually saw it. And this was like 1985, 1986 when I actually did see it at the time. But it would have been nice as a grown-up seeing this and going back and seeing it that we actually saw how they are now. But I understand around that time for No Way Home, it was COVID. And I know that in Australia, they have very strict laws when it comes to COVID. So, and I think they were on lockdown for a very long time. So I guess that's why they didn't do it. But I wish they did. I wish they had a director's cut and just kind of fit him in there. Even have him as like an end credit scene. I would have been fine. But that's not that. It's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But yeah, I would love to see that happen. And especially now that Nicholas Hammond's like, what, in his 60s, 70s?
70s.
And Chip Fields, how old?
Around a little bit younger, but she's around in that same age bracket. But yeah, I personally would love to have seen it. Like maybe have him almost like a mentor type dude to the other three, and then like show them going home, and then he's going back home, and then on the other side there's Rita, maybe even a daughter or a son dressed up in a version of the Spider-Man costume.
Or the fact that you actually had him or her to be a Spider-Man or a Spider-Woman, because she would be full grown by the time we actually saw Nicholas Hammond and we saw Peter and Rita in the scene. If they actually were the ones, they would be a lot older. Their daughter would probably be about what? They had to be about at least 30.
A daughter or son would have been grown, possibly with even family of their own.
She probably had family of her own, and it could be a possibility that her kids were also in training. And if you had a family of spider people,
yeah, and I
awesome.
could see him in a scene turning around and looking at really all three of them, but especially Andrew Garfield, because he was kind of still going through his thing over Gwen. He was like, "Hey man, you said you didn't have time for a relationship. Anything's possible, man."
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it would have been really great, because I think a lot of fans and a lot of critics, they liked the film, but they were disappointed that they didn't go all out. Like, we thought we were going to see Venom. We didn't see Venom. We should have seen Venom, but we didn't. If you had more Spider people, because Spider-Man is probably the most beloved character in the Marvel Universe, if you would have had more than one Spider-Man and introduced the Spider-Verse into the Marvel canon, that would have been epic. Not just have the main three, but if you had Nicholas Hammond make a cameo, as well as Chip Fields being his wife, and having her run the Daily Bugle in place of John Jonah Jameson, which is pretty much it could have been set up to be that way.
Yeah, because it was sort of, because she was probably the highest person up,
right,
before Jonah.
But what if her daughter or her son would have been running the Daily Bugle because they retired? And then the thing is, John Jonah Jameson hated Spider-Man.
Well, J.
Jonah Jameson, sorry. J. Jonah Jameson hated Spider-Man. But let's just say that she had a kid that actually ran the Daily Bugle that was Spider-Man. And then you have him join with everyone else. And then of course you have, and please, I would mark out so hard if they had Spider Noir show up. If they had Spider Noir or Spider Punk show up in that film, I would have marked out. Seriously, I would have completely just marked out and lost my mind. Besides Nicholas Hammond, if they had other new Spider people, and especially what is it, Spider-Man 2099?
Yeah.
That had what was his name?
Miguel O'Hara.
If they had Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, like they did in the actual cartoon and in the film, if they had more than one Spider-Man from different universes show up and made it an epic battle, it would have felt so much more than the main three. You had enough villains, even though the villains was questionable, like Electro, that didn't really know who he never knew who Spider-Man was. He never knew the identity of Spider-Man.
No.
He knew Peter. He knew of Peter, but he wasn't a friend of Peter's, but he didn't know who Spider-Man was. But you randomly threw him in there. You could have had the Green Goblin, but we know why they didn't add him in there. Except you add William Dafoe. But you didn't add the Hobgoblin, you had the Green Goblin. You had the right people, except for Electro. If you had more villains, that would have introduced the Sinister Six. I'm still waiting for a Sinister Six movie. I don't think I'm ever going to get that. And I mean, they could have done so much more to introduce the Sinister Six and also introduce more Spider people into the Spider-Verse. They would have introduced the Spider-Verse and the Sinister Six in one film, making it feel more epic. But they kind of fell flat. I don't know if it was money or they were just scared that it wouldn't pan out. I don't know. They could have even introduced Spider-Gwen, and I would have been fine with that. But the movie was still good. It just didn't go all out.
Did maybe a little bit older Spider-Gwen, and have it be Emma Stone. Imagine the reaction of Andrew Garfield.
Oh my gosh. If they had Emma Stone as Spider-Gwen and had Andrew Garfield right there, that would have been great. It wouldn't have solved everything. It still would have kind of left him confused and have a hole in his heart for his Gwen, but that's a start right there. They could have done so much more with that film, but they just kind of got scared and didn't do it.
I need these bracelets of all the things that she keeps in cages. I'm at least his favorite. And she said I was about to give you all of me on all the weekends and all I